As we are all still reeling from the 86 seconds that shocked the world over this weekend, we welcome you to the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast right here on Fox Sports. Of course, we're at Fox Compadres on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/Fox Compadres. It is Thanksgiving week, everybody, so we are going to give thanks to you, first of all, and this is going to be an amazing show. We have so much to talk about coming off Survivor Series, but let's get right to the introductions. I'm Jonny Loquasto. Find me on Twitter at @TheJQuasto. The man next to me wearing the Broken Matt Hardy t-shirt, he's the host of Curtain Jerks and may or may not be involved with the youtube.com/OnYourMark show. He says he's just a fan. Find him on Twitter at Curtain Jerks. He's Scotty Narver.
Curtain Jerk compadre, he's always there to save the day. Scott Narver, Scott Narver.
I give thanks to the entire Hardy family, Vanguard One and Senior Benjamin. May all go well this holiday season, and may Matt get his memory back.
Well, that's a good point. But who will give thanks to Skarsgård? I am right now.
Good. Yes.
Thank you, Dilapidated Boat. We love you.
Yes.
And speaking of that, not dilapidated, but the fact that we love him, he's coming to us from Washington, D.C. You can find him on Twitter at TheWalkingDale. He's the host of Dishing on Movies and travels all over the world, heading over to Wrestle Kingdom 11 in just a couple of weeks. He's Dale Rutledge.
He got that mad funky hair, plus he travels everywhere. He always wears a vest, so you rockin' with the best. The vest is business. He's best for business. Who it is? That's Dale Rutledge.
Yo.
Yo.
How you doing, brother?
I'm feeling a little dilapidated. It is freaking cold out east. I wish I was back with you guys already.
Dude, it is. I was in Atlanta this weekend, and it dropped down to 40 degrees, and I'm just going to tell you guys, I got the sniffles.
What's wrong with you? Just spray some aerosol cans. It'll fix the weather right quick.
Yeah, global warming?
Yeah.
Okay, that's something to think of for next time.
Oh, it's cold. Warm up real quick.
Carrlyn Bathe is not with us today, unfortunately. She is on assignment, but of course you better follow her on Twitter at Carrlyn Bathe because we're very thankful for her. So guys, we're going to need to get right into the biggest story of the week. Like I said, 86 seconds that shocked the world. Brock versus Goldberg. Good God almighty. So when it came down to it this weekend, I thought it was really incredible, guys. You know, Takeover was one of those shows that was just a flat-out great wrestling show. And a lot of people raved about it. It overwhelmingly got 4 rounds of applause on our Twitter poll that we put up. So Survivor Series really had its work cut out for it. But in my opinion, I think the entire show delivered. I think rivalries only got more intense. We had surprise eliminations, incredible performances, and that ending that still has everybody talking. It brought me back nostalgically to the Survivor Series, you know, when we were a kid growing up that we got really excited for, and I really didn't think that could be done. Whether or not you were happy with the outcome, it's something we were all talking about. So, Scotty, your initial reaction to Goldberg versus Lesnar?
Well, I think it was, what the shit?
Yeah.
What?
Fair enough.
What?
Yeah.
And then my roommate walked by and went, wait, I thought that match just started. Wait, what happened? And then I rewound it. He was watching it. Dale calls me up on the phone. It was utter madness and chaos. That thing that you want as a fan to just go, I didn't foresee all those possibilities.
Yeah.
This is utter and complete chaos, madness, and wonderful.
And that's the other beautiful thing about now everything being on the network is back in the day, you would know every pay-per-view would be right around 2 minutes and 45 seconds. These pay-per-views now are impossible to predict in their length.
2 hours and 45 minutes?
Is that what I said?
No.
2 hours and 45. What did I say?
2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Really?
Man, those sniffles got your brain.
Everything is going short now. That's okay. Anyways.
Yeah, they fooled everyone with the time that it was roughly like 2.5 hours is when this match started. 3.5 hours of when this match started. So everybody thought, oh, there's still a half hour left in their show.
Yeah.
Oh, they fooled everybody.
That's the beautiful thing about it now is we have no idea how long each pay-per-view is going to go, so it was a real shock. Dale, what do you think?
I mean, I was freaking out. I mean, like Scott said, I picked up and called him immediately. And I mean, he was the most jazzed for this match out of the 4 of us. So I had to get his initial reaction. And I mean, them faking us out, that's so cool too. Like with a 7 o'clock start time, you think you're settling in. It's like 40 minutes till the end of the hour. You're like, oh yeah, this is going to be a long match.
Yeah.
I just thought it was done so smartly and really. People online were saying something that I saw about, comparing it to the finger poke of doom. It was nothing like that whatsoever.
No.
It was short and it was quick. I liked that, though. It was shocking, but in a good way, not in a we're just going to lay down for somebody kind of way.
Not even close. It was very impactful. I had just gotten back to my hotel room, and I don't like not watching a pay-per-view from the beginning, but I was thinking,
Sure.
oh, maybe it's over by now. I hit on the network on my computer, and next thing you know, it's the beginning, like they're doing the intros for Goldberg and Lesnar. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to watch this live.
Sure.
I settle in. I got my rice pudding that I got from the comedy club. Hey, I love rice pudding, all right? I sit down. I'm ready to go.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I got my first spoonful. I'm ready to go, and the match ended, and my initial thought was we were all next. We all got had in a good way, I think, because little did we know that Goldberg has the bug again, and he announced on Raw that he is going to be in the Royal Rumble, and he told everyone this.
Everyone is next.
So he is the first entrant in the 2017 Royal Rumble. So,
He also announced that his son loves rice pudding.
yeah, well, he's a good kid.
Yeah, that kid tried to get a microphone after the match at Survivor Series. He's like, by the way, I love rice pudding. I love it.
Does anyone know how his kid's shirt ended up going off at the end of the Survivor
No,
Series?
It's covered in rice pudding.
He seemed so awkward about it too. It happened off camera, so I felt like Goldberg like forced him out of his shirt, and he's like, "Dad,
Yeah.
come on."
That would have been me as a
wanna."
fat kid. I even went in the water with a shirt on back in the day. It was awful.
Not surprised.
But that kid's not in the Rumble. But
Goldberg is.
Goldberg is.
We don't know. He might be. We don't know.
Well, he's not announced it yet.
Here's my thing about Goldberg being in the Rumble, though. To me, it's almost like giving it away because he mentions Stephanie McMahon says, I have another title run. I think I've got another title run left in me, too.
She says by damn a lot.
By damn, I have another title run left in me. So to me, it kind of gives it away. What do you think? Are you excited for him to be in the Rumble? Are you rooting for him? Or
Gives it away? Of course it gives it away. They're selling tickets and creating hype. They have to give that away.
I'm saying it's giving it away that he's going to win the Rumble and go to WrestleMania and main event at 50 years old.
Why? There's 29 more individuals that are going to be in the Rumble. It's the first one that we go like, oh, well, he's going to win because there's no one else to eliminate as of yet. So obviously he's the winner.
I think too, you can't, this is all storyline in my opinion. You can't dismiss the fact that Lesnar is going to be so pissed about this particular loss that I am almost 100% that he will ruin a Goldberg's Royal Rumble. And maybe we get a rubber band match or maybe it leads to something else. I don't know. But there's no way to count out Brock Lesnar at this point.
Well, this is something we talked about a few weeks ago is, what if they ended up having a third match at WrestleMania? Now, of course, Goldberg's 2-0, so it's not even really the rubber match because technically Goldberg's already won the series, if you will. But I think you're right. I think this will it's got to lead to something at WrestleMania, right?
Very well could. It's wide open. All the possibilities are there now because Goldberg was Goldberg again, which is what was needed. We've had guys in the past, including Goldberg, these WCW stars that come in and then they go against the grain of what they were known for and what they are. And finally with Goldberg, they let Goldberg just be Goldberg and tear through somebody and dominate. And that was what we wanted to see.
But tearing through Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, what? It was amazing. It was totally unexpected. And I always like it when someone's got somebody's number. I think that's always a cool thing. Like Shelton Benjamin was the guy who had Triple H's number. Triple H was on a tear beating everybody, and Shelton kept beating him. This was like maybe 2004, 2003, and it was just like it would frustrate Triple H, and it was always an unexpected like, wow, this guy who's not in the title picture has got your number and can beat you.
Yeah. Well, when it comes down
and it can reinvigorate Lesnar too, because if he's just been rolling through guys and all top guys. So to have somebody come in and, like Scotty said, have his number like that, I feel like that just really re-inspires why he's in the ring and to get back in there and be even more brutal.
Well, Fox Sports put a really good video up this week that's fun to watch about the 10 most dominant wrestlers in pro wrestling history. And number one was Goldberg, but it's very subjective because it's almost like in the boxing world. I know people who think Mike Tyson was the most dominant boxer of all time, but he has a much smaller body of work than other people. I know our producer Andrew Lynch thinks Shaq is the most dominant big man of all time. I agree with him.
Well, he hasn't fought the Big Show yet, to be totally fair.
That's true. He hasn't fought, but WrestleMania 33, it's coming.
Yeah.
But, a lot of people say Wilt Chamberlain and stuff like and Bill Russell. So, I don't know. Do you think Goldberg is the most dominant of all time?
I do not think Goldberg is the most dominant. I would have to say David Arquette is the most dominant wrestler of all time. He has had 5 matches. On his second match, he wins the title.
That's pretty
Wins
impressive.
the WCW championship. On his 4th match, he goes, you know what? I don't even need it anymore. Helps Jarrett to win the title. So sure, he's got a loss there, but he chose to lose and make a star.
That was a more shocking answer than the ending of Goldberg versus Lesnar.
And then his other match, number 5, well, that was him teaming with Alex Riley, and that was Alex Riley's fault. He got pinned, not Arquette.
Wait, are you talking about Das Wunderkind?
No, Alex Riley.
David Arquette teamed with Alex Riley?
Against Randy Orton. Learn your history, boy. Learn your history in a tables match against Randy Orton.
Okay.
But that was all Alex Riley's fault. David Arquette is dominant.
Dale, take us out of this, please. Who's more dominant?
5 good matches is about 3 more good movies that he had. So that's actually a good reign for David Arquette.
How dare you?
Gosh, I mean, I can't say Goldberg either because I don't think he's had enough time in the WWE. I was never a big WCW guy, so obviously I know of his legacy and watch his matches in retrospect, but I don't know. He wasn't for me back in the day. I would have to say, I don't know. CM Punk had such a long reign of the title and such good storytelling throughout. And even when he left with the title and all that, I just feel like CM Punk is probably more of a dominant as far as a reign goes.
Wow.
Than I would say Goldberg.
Well, as much as I respect David Arquette, as much as I respect CM Punk, I'm going with The Undertaker because you talk about longevity and domination. He's the dead man, and when he shows up, people
Is
get
that
scared.
motorcycle guy?
He's yep. Limp Bizkit was a great song that he went down to, and without a doubt, Undertaker. So Survivor Series, a lot of highlights besides Goldberg versus Lesnar. What would be your highlight, Scotty, besides those two?
It was Ellsworth eliminating Braun Strowman.
Yes.
Because Braun was just tearing through everybody. Braun was just crushing, and Braun's getting built up huge. And I thought, we might get a sole survivor of just Braun Strowman. And unexpectedly, he's getting back into the ring and the count's happening. I'm going, he's going to get in there. And I didn't understand why he wasn't getting in. And I was confused. I'm like, did you just forget? Like, is this going to be a sad big man moment? And then camera goes down low and there's Ellsworth holding onto his leg. And that was so great. That was such a great way to have Ellsworth be involved, to get revenge on Braun, and just to play out that entire moment. That was a highlight.
Perfect booking, and they had an amazing moment prior to the match.
Don't I know you?
Just a nice little face-off, and Ellsworth runs away with his chin in tow. Dale, what would be your highlight?
Yeah, and who could have picked that would actually unfold that way when we saw that match of the two of them so long ago, or feels so long ago at this point, to actually culminate to a Survivor Series moment?
It's beautiful.
No one could have predicted that.
Beautiful thing.
Mine was definitely the Wyatts coming out on top. Like, finally, there was something, and it was like decisively so. I loved Luke Harper. I loved everything about Bray Wyatt being on the winner's side of anything. So that for me was the highlight.
There you go. Mine would definitely be the fact that Breezango actually lasted 41 seconds in the match.
Oh, dear God.
If you ask me...
That was surprising. I guess that was surprising.
Well, you look at their outfits. It took them way longer to get dressed up as stripper cops, let alone... actually lasting 41 seconds in the match. I mean, poor Tyler Breeze didn't even realize that he was out of the match.
And it was good that they handed out a bunch of citations, too.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
A lot of uggos.
Why are they making them do that?
I don't know, but hey, they're into it, and they're selling it as best as they can.
Careful. If they come in studio, they might find us.
Let's get them in the studio.
Oh, I got to dress really nice then?
Yes, you do. You got to dress with a belly shirt.
Every shirt I wear is a belly shirt.
As far as disappointments, I really like the show from start to finish. Does anyone have any disappointing elements from Survivor Series?
I would say the most disappointing thing to me was, I know we're going to be talking about it a little bit later on the show, was the New Day.
Yeah.
The New Day, they're the last team that comes out to represent Team Raw, and everyone awaits them and lets them usher through this grandiose celebration, the tag champs that are going to break the record of the longest reigning tag champs, and out instantly.
65 seconds.
65 seconds, and from nothing. Like, it wasn't any huge...
Well, I kind of feel like it was the beginning of something, which we can get to.
Yeah,
but I think there's maybe a reason they got eliminated so early.
Shane McMahon got knocked the hell out, and he's still kicked out on instinct.
Oh, my God.
These are the tag team champions? Come on.
That was brutal.
Shane is tougher than the tag champs.
Roman, next time, just catch the guy and give him a spine buster. Don't spear him out of midair, for God's sake.
Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan could be tag champs if Daniel Bryan just stays on the apron.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
Very, very much so. Dale?
I would say disappointing for me was having the cruiserweight, the whole division's future hanging in the balance, if you will, and have it decided or undecided by a big guy. It like reeked of like Vince booking, like, oh, let's send the big guy in to squash the little dudes. Like, it's like, okay. I just didn't appreciate it, and I thought it just undermined everything about the cruiserweight division. And right when they're launching a show, I don't know, it made no sense to me.
I see your point there. At first, I was very disappointed when the list got destroyed.
You just made the list!
And it essentially eliminated both Jericho and Kevin Owens, but they totally redeemed themselves when they were on Monday Night Raw, and it looks like they were about to end their friendship, and then finally, they both found the person to blame Survivor Series on.
Roman Reigns!
So my disappointment went right out the window, and I absolutely loved it, and Jericho had a brand new list, and we were good to go. So next time, Monkeys in the Truck, get the photos up when Kevin Owens wants them to be up there.
Monkeys!
So, Raw versus SmackDown Live, this match went about 52 minutes and 58 seconds, and it was phenomenal the entire time. The Wyatt family survives, like Dale mentioned. Randy had two of the best spots. The RKO on Seth as he tried to deliver a frog splash was the main one that everyone's talking about. Wow. And then, of course, taking Roman Spear. Here's the thing, though. Is Randy Orton really a member of the Wyatt family? Are we buying this?
His eyes glow.
What? So what? So do Ember Moons. Is she part of the Wyatt family?
Oh, I think she is.
Oh, boy, we just figured it out. I don't know. Dale, are you in? Because, look, I love the Wyatt family. I'm so glad that they came out on top for Survivor Series. I think Bray Wyatt, it's about time he gets a title shot, if that's even going to happen. But do you feel like Randy Orton's really in this to win this, or is it almost like when Daniel Bryan threw on a janitor suit and pretended to be in the Wyatt family for 2 weeks?
That was more silly somehow, oddly. I'm buying into it for now. I think that this is the strongest we've seen Bray, as I said, as far as storytelling goes in a long time, if not ever. And if that takes having Randy Orton in his corner, then so be it. I mean, whatever they need to do to get the creative team or the higher ups behind Bray Wyatt, I'm into it. And if this is just a longer play to get Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton by WrestleMania, I'd love to maybe make a stop at the Shield versus Wyatt's pit stop if we could before we get to that point, because I was loving the tease at the end of the pay-per-view, and that was some of my favorite matches of the past couple of years. That feud between Shields and Wyatt, that was pretty phenomenal.
Well, there'd be a lot of steps to be taken if we're going to get Shields versus Wyatt again. Now, here's the thing, though. If Randy Orton really is part of the family, Scotty, we run into the problem of, will Randy Orton stop Bray Wyatt short of becoming a champion, and therefore they start feuding again?
Why do you want everybody to not be friends and hang out?
I want them to be friends and hang out.
Why do you want Matt Hardy to lose his memory? Why do you want Jericho and KO to break up?
I never said I did.
Why?
How in the hell would I talk to a boat?
Yeah, I want his memory to come back.
We want family to be family. Blood is thicker than water, and well, I'm sure they'll do weird blood transfusions to all become the same family.
I would imagine so.
I like it. I do believe it. I think this does make Randy more interesting. I think it makes Bray more of a dominant threat. I think I see this going forward. I don't see this as being a breakup and into a match. I'm totally buying it.
I'm really having a hard time buying this. It's almost like, kind of like when an athlete signs with, like, say, Jacksonville for a big contract, just because of the contract, and he's trying to make everyone believe, oh no, I love it here, this is my city, this is my team. Now granted, the Wyatt family obviously is having a lot of success, so that's different than anything the Jaguars have done, but I just have a hard time. Randy Orton's still essentially wearing the same gear, he's doing the same thing. I'm not saying he has to dress like the Wyatt family, because God forbid he can't put dreadlocks in his hair.
He puts a hoodie on.
Yeah,
come on.
He's got a hoodie.
Oh, I apologize. God, he pulls the hoodie up.
Yep.
That's something, all right.
Totes different.
And Scotty claims he has different eyes. So other than that,
I seen it.
Okay, I'm totally on board with this if Randy Orton can help Bray Wyatt win the WWE Championship, and then that leads to a feud. Then he turns on him. Then that's phenomenal for me. But if it happens before Bray gets the title, I'm going to be like, not so
Randy helped Bray be the sole survivors to have SmackDown Live win a match in Survivor Series. They were...
You sure?
They were 0-3 going in. I mean, they hadn't won a match at all. Then they won it at the end. Randy Orton is the cause of it.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay.
My bad.
So now is the time for Bray Wyatt, is what you're telling me.
Now is the time for the Wyatt family.
Meaning, you think Orton might be getting the rub over Bray Wyatt?
No, I'm saying the family is a unit and they are standing strong together.
Dale.
Can't agree more. I mean, it's good timing to have Harper back, and I'm buying into the Randy Orton thing. He's always been crazy, and that's really the only precondition you had to have to be a Wyatt, I thought. So,
Well, I mean, you would think stained wife beaters was another one, but I haven't seen one with Orton yet. Anyways, we talked about Shield reunion, so pretty much it was awesome. We saw the triple power bomb on AJ Styles over the Spanish announcer's table. But I saw more of what might be a double turn. What I saw was some heelish actions from Dean Ambrose, and you know the crowd is already all about AJ Styles. That's what I'm seeing. Do you guys see the Shield reuniting in some weird fashion, or do you see more of like a double turn where the crowd's realizing that Dean Ambrose is just not... We've talked about it on the show. He's just not really getting over with what he's doing. Is there a way to do this double turn?
Have you been hanging out with Eric Rowan with all these complicated Rubik's Cube math problems you got
No,
going here?
he changed his number.
I see that there is a possible Shield reunion in this. Although that was the one thing I wasn't totally into and totally bought was Dean Ambrose. Dean got so crazy that he was trying to cost SmackDown Live their match.
It was weird.
And he didn't acknowledge the Shield, I felt like. He just was wanting to beat up AJ, and it didn't matter who was standing there.
Exactly.
Sugar tip.
He just went down and just destroyed AJ.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Dale?
I don't know. It was a little confusing for that reason. I did like that just beating up AJ Styles overtook any other priority of Dean Ambrose. I thought, it was exciting to have them doing the big move together. But do I think he's going to make a switch? I don't know. AJ is so over as he is. I think it'd be weird. And he hasn't been heel the whole time he's been in the WWE, and he hasn't been in the WWE that long.
Yeah.
So to flop him again, I don't know. Doesn't seem smart when his trajectory is already so hot. And Dean, I don't know. I mean, if he somehow did join Raw or become a part of the Shield, I don't think he would need to turn because they're both faces. So that doesn't make sense to me either. So I don't know. That doesn't really work out for me.
We got that title match coming up soon, so we will see. But speaking of vicious attacks, Charlotte and Bayley survive for Team Raw in the women's division. But then afterwards, she waits about, a good 3 to 4 seconds after the Bayley to belly and just hammers on Bayley. And then Nia Jax gets in Sasha's face on Raw. So to me, it's almost like, so we do have Sasha and Charlotte facing off next week in a title match. But this attack by Charlotte, to me, signifies that Bayley's going to be getting into that title match, or in that title picture shortly thereafter, with Nia Jax maybe trying to destroy Sasha Banks. Is that kind of what you guys see going on?
Nah.
Okay, what do you see then? You don't see the Queen?
I don't see it going that way. I think I don't know what is the reasoning behind this, but I don't think they care about Bayley very much at all.
Wow.
She was like getting the winning pin just to throw her a bone for now to appease her fans maybe, but I see this more the title going back to Sasha and Nia Jax being next in line for that title. I don't think Bayley is going to be a contender anytime soon.
What do you see for Charlotte?
The Queen rules the ring.
She rules the ring, Dale.
It's true. I love Charlotte, and she's had a good run, but I think that they got to inject some new blood into this. Even if it was a triple threat, I think they would make a triple threat with Nia Jax before Bayley, because we've already seen a triple threat between those three.
Oh, man.
I see back burner Bayley action. I think they're trying to hold off on Bayley for Rumble or Mania and have her just be the underdog, but I don't think they're playing up her story
enough
that well. Yeah. And it's hard because he also divided up the women's division amongst 2 shows.
And we talked about this before. One of the reasons that NXT loved Bayley so much is it was a long, steady climb, and she had to scratch and claw her way to get to that title. And I think WrestleMania would be a perfect place to do it. I love the idea of Nia Jax. I just still have a hard time with her in the ring.
I think she should pop those inflatable wacky arm guys.
That's one way to do it.
Nia Jax just takes those out.
That's one way to do it. So
Nia Jax and Bayley had a good match on NXT for the women's title. It's been a minute now, but I thought it was a decent match.
They sure did. And so Team Raw came out on top. Bayley and Charlotte survive. Which women's division are you guys still into? Now, for me, I still got to go with SmackDown. I'm more intrigued by that women's division, even though there's more star quality, you could say, on Raw. What do you think, Scotty?
On this one, I'd go Raw because the characters are so sharply defined on that show. And on SmackDown Live, they're going with some chances here and there, but it doesn't feel like a lot of the other characters overall in the divisions, where I feel like the tag is really strong on SmackDown. I feel like the singles guys is really strong on SmackDown. But the women, they're still not finding their groove. And Charlotte's so strong, and Sasha's so strong that they dominate that show. So I go Raw.
All right, Dale.
I think the women on Raw have better storyline to work with as of right now, just because they've given them so many opportunities lately. But the potential for SmackDown is probably higher. I mean, you have Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Bella, Natty, the Champ. I mean, there's so many women over there that are just awesome performers. They just haven't really had the moment to shine quite yet.
I mean, I think Alexa Bliss is killing it. I think Carmella has really taken an aggressive turn, to make Nikki Bella the sympathetic, figure there. And I really like how Natty had to join, the team. And so to me, I'm really intrigued by what's going on in SmackDown. So speaking of, not speaking of tag teams, but we have to move on to the tag team match, what Scotty was most excited for. You mentioned earlier, New Day lasts 65 seconds. And then on Raw, they defeat Cesaro and Sheamus in very heel fashion. But they did mention a little tag team prior to that. Yeah, that's right. They are a mere few weeks away from defeating the all-time reign of Axe and Smash. If you want to throw in Crush and Mr. Fuji, of course, Demolition.
I'll throw in one of those, not both.
All right, there you go. Throw in Mr. Fuji, I think.
Yep.
Do you think we're going to see Demolition? Maybe, somehow, for some reason. Not to wrestle, but just make an appearance?
We have to. It's crazy to me when we get to these milestones and we don't bring these characters out, we don't acknowledge them. Demolition's one of my favorite tag teams of all time.
Hell yeah.
I love them. And, for those guys to get paid, to get the acknowledgement, push out a bunch of stuff on the network, get them on the table for three, just start
Their finisher
doing
used to kill me, man.
Oh my gosh,
The
yeah,
elbow.
so cool.
Ooh.
And there's probably an updated way of doing it. They're older guys, the hair's gone, they're bigger, but you don't have to go to the old costumes. Have them design something cool and updated some new Mad Max type cool outfits and put the face paint on and come out there.
Because they were very dominatrix-y back in the day. You don't want that, per se.
But you got to embrace that history. And when they were doing Santino Marella was going to beat Honky Tonk Man's record, it was just waiting. You got to bring out Honky Tonk Man and Santino Marella together and have the past and the present meet up. It's just too important.
I think it is too. Plus, I see the beginnings of a heel turn for the New Day. They cheated to defeat Cesaro and Sheamus. Cesaro complained about it on Twitter afterwards, and also getting knocked out really early in Survivor Series, I think led to them cheating to win. They're starting to almost do another turn during this title reign, which would make sense for Demolition to make some kind of appearance. What do you think, Dale?
Yeah, I think their act is getting a little stale. Like we said a couple weeks ago, they basically just schlepped their merch.
Oh, God.
Speaking of which, there's a holiday Bootio cereal coming out just in time for Christmas, so get ready for that.
What is going to be in it?
Just more $35 cereal.
Oh.
Yeah, it has to be for Christmas because you can't afford it on your normal shopping list. Yeah, I think that it would be interesting. I think they're going to break this reign. I think they're going to have this under their belt as the longest reigning, but it would be super cool, at least to me, storytelling wise, if Demolition did come in and maybe they're not wrestling or whatever, just make an appearance and distract them enough to have them just fall shy of breaking their record. I think that would be really fun.
And that would solidify a really solid heel turn for the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they would just be so pissed and mad for who knows how long. I don't know. They need something. So I'm happy to see where they go with this.
Well, I know that Demolition's still around. I mean, I've heard them both on recent podcasts, and I think they'd be down to make that appearance. And I think, the fans are really smart because of the network. They're very nostalgic as well, and they'd still be excited to see them come back. So that'd be something really fun. We got to to talk NXT TakeOver. Good Lord. You talk about an amazing wrestling match from start to finish. 5 incredible matches. Samoa Joe, in what I would consider a bit of a surprise, defeats Nakamura. He becomes the 2-time NXT champion. We also have new tag team champions. Shout out to DIY. Congratulations to them. Here's the thing, though. You got to ask the question. Anytime someone loses a big match in NXT and they lose the title, is Nakamura heading up to the main roster, Dale? Your boy.
Nah. I see Joe going up to the main roster before Nakamura, but listen, there isn't, while watching this pay-per-view, I got like a little teary-eyed. Like, there isn't one single dude in the world you can convince me is cooler than Shinsuke Nakamura. There just isn't anybody out there that is that freaking cool. I don't want him to go anywhere. I don't think I fear that they would not appreciate him enough on the main roster, or they wouldn't use him in the way that I don't know, just NXT was so rad. And like you said, top to bottom, every match mattered. Like, something was behind every single match. The only grudge match was 2 Canadians to kick off the show in this like extreme. The crowd was so hot. I was so mad that I wasn't there during NXT. But yeah, I don't see him leaving, not at the moment anyways, and especially when he just lost the title. I mean, he at least gets to challenge, get the belt back. I don't think he needs to rush off to the main roster.
I mean, for me, I do believe we're going to see Nakamura on the main roster, or at least I think we're going to see a surprise entry into the Royal Rumble. I do believe that Nakamura is going to get in there. Whether or not he stays in the main roster after that, I have no idea, but imagine the pop he's going to get if he comes out for the Rumble. That, to me, it's a no-brainer. You throw him in there. But so many other good things to talk about. You know, Bobby Roode, Ty Dillinger, a match between 2 individuals who are just the masters of their craft, and together were like magnificent. I mean, this was a main event that just happened to start off the show. But for me, the highlights, I mean, the tag matches were incredible too. I mean, just Authors of Pain and TM61 just put on a hell of a show as well, with Paul Ellering being a canary stuck up in the middle of the cage hanging from the ceiling.
You know what was nice about that too is that, you know, this show didn't get very spotty. No. And when it did, they only had 2 spots, both performed by TM61, who arguably could use, you know, the rub of being guys that can do cool moves, because like we said before, they haven't gotten a lot of character development. Even that alone, keeping the show so simple and grounded, but then allowing these 2 guys to shine in this weird suspension cage thing. I guess it was mainly to promote the new toy that they have out. No, that's all I could gather.
Well, there was a match long time ago where Paul Ellering was suspended from above the ring.
No, I realize that, but for them to bring it back now, I'm saying I feel like it was the whole NXT pay-per-view is brought to you by the Crash Cage or whatever. So I think they just ultimately did it to sell a toy.
And the man probably just loves cleavage.
I mean, sure. Why not?
Right?
Because he can see it from higher up?
Yeah. Why are you confused by that idea, Johnny? Could you not do the...
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
There you go.
Okay. Wow.
High up above, looking at the boobies.
I mean, the highlight for me... Oh, man. Well, I'm going to talk about women now. That's a weird transition, but that was my plan. The highlight for me was Asuka and Mickie James. I mean, this match seemingly came out of nowhere weeks ago. Mickie had not shown up on NXT at all since announcing she would be at TakeOver, and there was a huge question mark looming over the match, you know, but gosh, it was incredible. There's great storytelling. Mickie not only stood up to Asuka, but she came so close to winning, and it honestly made me think at one point that she might actually pull off the upset. Now, Asuka retained, but the question remains, was this a one and done for Mickie? Or are we going to see more of her? Because she looked fantastic. She really delivered. And these are just 2 incredible wrestlers that really know how to tell a story. And I was invested from start to finish. And I thought it was just really fun to watch. So it would be great to see, you know, Mickie back more often.
Oh, man. And the way that Asuka, when Mickie threw out her hand to be like, you know, great match, we did a great job. And Asuka just raised her title and gave her this look like, is anybody more believably badass than Asuka? I don't think so. But that alone was just, I loved it.
Scotty would say David Arquette, but we're not.
No, I'd say Gangrel.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Drinking blood out of a champagne flute or whatever the hell you
A chalice? That's badass.
A chalice. I prefer champagne flute. Speaking of women, though, Sexy Star, she wins the Lucha Underground title in the Aztec Warfare. What a moment. I mean, you had the Monster Matanza, Dale, going right into it, still the champion. 20 men, 20 women, 20 people combined entered this Aztec Warfare, comes down to Mil Muertes and Sexy Star. She throws Muertes through the table, and then the double stomp. She pulls off the win after entering at number 12. This is just incredible. I mean, you saw the elation, you saw the emotion from her afterwards. Matt Stryker delivers the commentary in amazing fashion as well. What do you think about it? This is incredible to me.
I loved it. I mean, she pinned Johnny Mundo, to get him out of the competition. She had such a battle with Mil Muertes. I mean, 4 chair shots to Mil.
Yeah.
A couple of missed table shots on his side. I mean, it was just and Helico returned doing his super crazy jump off of like the bleachers into the depths of hell. I don't know how he does that.
Start to finish.
But just such an amazing match. And I really wonder though, that's to have a main title of any company go to a female wrestler is already monumental. Do you think that is something that WWE could ever actually do? You think they could ever get behind that?
Here's the thing. You said the words wrestling company. That's not what Lucha Underground is. They are a wrestling television show. So, of course, they can do that. But with WWE, they can't and they won't. I mean, they already have very distinct, separate men's and women's divisions. I honestly don't think...
Yeah, but they had China win the IC belt.
They sure did, but that's why they called her the 8th wonder of the world or whatever her nickname was.
Yeah, and that's why Jim Ross right then and right now is spinning in his barbecue sauce going, no, a woman holding a man's title can't be done.
Well, he's not a big fan of intergender matches, that's for sure.
True.
I just don't think that's possibly going to happen, and I think WWE has done a good job of really elevating women over the past year especially, and they're a company, they're a promotion, whereas Lucha Underground is a television show. Let's be honest. People die on Lucha Underground. They get eaten by monsters. They disappear somehow. It's very paranormal, and so yeah, of course, anything is possible in that world.
Good thing that doesn't happen to WWE though.
Well, that's true. I mean, besides,
you can come back from a limousine explosion, but don't you dare be a woman holding a man's title.
Who's the most dominant ever, Johnny?
I don't know.
The Undertaker?
Yeah, well, I did say that.
He does all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right, he is very paranormal. I'm just saying, I'd be totally for it. I just don't think it's going to happen, but I applaud Lucha Underground for making it happen because it was an incredible moment, and if anyone deserves it, it is Sexy Star.
True.
Absolutely. That. Yeah, it was nice to see it happen, regardless of the likelihood of it hitting the mainstream for WWE. Lucha had the chance, and they did it, and I love them for it.
Absolutely. Well, what a week it's been, but we can't send you into Thanksgiving without the finisher. That's right. We're going to do rapid fire this week and a whole bunch of topics. So, Scotty, is the clock ready?
Yes.
All right. Starting off first, Dale, James Ellsworth has been offered a contract. Good idea or bad idea?
I don't care.
Perfect.
Wow.
Scotty, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I love it. I wanted it before, and I think it's well deserved. The man's happy.
And he just went through he just got tossed through a table by Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Shane McMahon got his bell rung just about 9 or 10 times during the Survivor Series. Scotty, does he need to just stay out of the ring for good?
No, he's a McMahon.
Oh, boy.
They are in this for the long haul. Get Linda out there. Come on.
Jesus.
Get everybody. Get the kids in there.
All right. New Ring of Honor TV champ Will Ospreay. Dale, how pumped are you?
Yeah, I was really pumped, except that he lost it 2 days later to Marty Scurll.
He sure did. So what a switch it was. So Will Ospreay had it for less than 48 hours, and now Marty Scurll is the new television champion for Ring of Honor, which will be very interesting going into Final Battle. All right, so who would you trade from Raw for Dean Ambrose if we were going to have a Shield reunion? AJ tweeted about this. A lot of people are very interested in it. Is there anyone you think would be a good trade for Dean Ambrose?
Boy, who's worth a Dean? The backstage ladies that they don't seem to know who's who. The one that Kevin Owens doesn't know.
Dale, do you have an answer?
Charles. So Scotty's answer is I don't give a Dean.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, man, I think that he needs to be on SmackDown, so let's just do a switcheroo.
That would be a solid trade. I don't think they should trade Dean Ambrose. Look, you put the title on him, you put him as one of the main guys, you got to let him ride it out and figure it out. I don't think we should go towards a Shield reunion already. I think it's, let the guys breathe for a while because, Roman Reigns is doing his thing, Seth Rollins doing his thing, and Dean, he'll figure it out. Do we get Goldberg versus Undertaker, Scotty?
Dewey and Goldberg versus Undertaker, Mick Foley's son, Dewey?
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yes. I don't know how the hell you managed to hear that with what I said, but do we get Goldberg versus Undertaker?
I think so. I think Goldberg versus Undertaker. I think Goldberg versus Cena. I think there's a couple of Goldberg matches that we're going to get.
Absolutely not. Dale?
No, I don't want to see it. I'd rather see him go over with some of the younger guys. If he does somehow win the Royal Rumble and gets to face Owens or Rollins, I am so down.
So down for that, but don't want to see Goldberg Undertaker. And lastly, it is Thanksgiving. What are we thankful for, Dale?
I'm thankful for getting to do this show with you guys.
You cheesy son of a bitch. Scotty.
Oh man, that was gonna be my fake answer. I don't know. Food.
Perfect. I'm really glad you guys thought about what you're thankful for ahead of time. I'm very thankful.
Yeah, there's only a bunch of other shit to think about beforehand.
Besides these sniffles that I have right now, I'm very thankful for my health. I'm very thankful for being here at Fox Sports. Thankful to Carrlyn Bathe for, making the introduction initially with getting us here. And thankful to every single person that watches and listens. Yeah, I'm going to be cheesy right now because it's Thanksgiving, damn it, all right?
Paul Ellering in a cage? Can I change my answer?
Did you win an award, or are you just giving thanks?
I'm thankful for Paul Ellering in a cage. I'm thankful for
cleavage.
Andrew's flannel that he's wearing that you can't necessarily see on camera.
Women cleavage.
I'm thankful for all of that. There's the flannel. Just thankful for anyone who watches or listens or whatever you do. We just thank you very, very much because this is our favorite part of the week. Every single week. And so, we're thankful for you. With that said, we're at Fox Compadres on Twitter and Instagram. We're Facebook.com/Fox Compadres. And also, Dale, we got some big t-shirt news, don't we?
Yeah, we got a big old sale going on.
That's right. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Wrestling Compadres. Put in the code Black Friday, one word. You will get 20% off every purchase you make for the next week going up until November 29th.
Including our brand new Wrestling Compadre t-shirt.
That's right. We got two new designs. We have the new Era logo and we have the face paint t-shirt as well. And
so behind you, if you're watching the video, it's right behind you, right there.
Check it out. So go to
a lot of requests for that face paint shirt. So get on it, y'all.
Yep. Get on it. So ProWrestlingTees.com/Wrestling Compadres and go get your 20% off and make that happen. Scotty, put yourself over real quick.
I'm thankful for the Boogeyman. I'm thankful for the Mean Street Posse. Oh, I'm sorry. You can find me on social media at Curtain Jerks. You can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, available on iTunes and SoundCloud. And hey, while you're buying those shirts, I hear there's some great On Your Mark shirts as well. So, that's that great show, youtube.com/On Your Mark show with all the great shoot interviews for free.
Hey, yo.
Dale.
You can find me at The Thankful Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on youtube.com/Dishing on Movies.
I don't like scars.
You did not change your name to The Thankful Dale. Don't lie to us.
No, I'm just patronizing you, Johnny.
Of course, thank you. It's my favorite thing that you do. Of course, follow Carrlyn Bathe at Carrlyn Bathe and follow me at JQuasto. And just go to jlocomedy.com for, all shows and stuff like that I have coming up. And also a big blood drive coming up at Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. If you're in LA, do something good and help out some kids. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Keep chasing your dreams.